This video almost didn't happen, but you know, with a little bit of luck and a whole lot of patience, here we are. So, welcome to SeaWorld Orlando, the other theme park option in the Orlando area. Of course, we have Walt Disney World and Universal, not too far from here. SeaWorld kind of sits right between both of them, so it's a really convenient location to check out. We think that it has quite a bit to offer, and of course, we have been here a few times before we had the opportunity to take you along. So what do you say we get you caught up? We do a lap of the park. I tell you a little bit about what the park has to offer, a little bit of an overview, share some of my thoughts, and just kind of wander around and explore before we get into some of the nitty-gritty in future discussions about SeaWorld. Does that sound good to you? All right, let's get started. So first things first, when you walk into SeaWorld, you kind of make your way through the entrance, you're gonna have to make a decision, left or right. Today we decided to go left. Now this is the point in our discussion where I tell you, please download the SeaWorld Orlando app. I know, you don't want to be stuck on your phone this whole time, but trust me, it's going to be a huge help, especially when it comes to navigating around the park, because the park is kind of confusing. It's not like one loop and you're good. There are some offshoots and you can find yourself getting lost like I did. But the app can help because of course there's a map in the app. Now, unfortunately, you're not guaranteed a paper map here. They don't really have them. Sometimes they hand them out as you're coming through the turnstiles, you know, like getting your ticket scanned as you enter the park, but that's not a guarantee. So download the app. Also, the app can be helpful in a lot of other ways as well, but enough about this, let's keep moving. So like I said, I don't want to get too much into the nitty-gritty of SeaWorld Orlando today. I just want to give you a quick look around, but the basics of what they have to offer is a little bit of something for everybody. I feel good about saying that. They also have a lot of fantastic thrill rides, and of course, they have the animals. They have the sea life. So if you like animals, you like aquariums, you like coasters, this is a good place for you, in my opinion. It's at least a place worth checking out. Okay, so we're at another crossroads here. I think we're gonna continue heading left. So let's see what's out this direction. And I'm gonna try to not get lost, okay? I'm gonna do my best, but I'll tell you right now, I make no promises. If we get lost together and we'll figure it out. Now the park is divided up into different sections. There's like the Keys, the Arctic, there's a shark area. They also have some special encounters that you can do where you can pay extra and have like up close and personal time with different animals here. So the list of things that you can do is extensive. It also can get expensive as well. You know, that's a discussion for another day, but I do want to acknowledge that that is absolutely part of the experience here. Paying more than you might want to or expect to. Of course, there are some ways around that, but again, that's a conversation for another day. A little too nitty-gritty for what we're doing right now. We've made our way out to this overlook. I don't think the dolphins are going to be that interested in us because they are over there with people that I do think are doing an encounter. Now I will say, even if you don't do an encounter, there are plenty of opportunities to get up close and personal with the animals. This is a perfect example of that, where that family is standing right now. I don't know if you can kind of see them. The dolphins can go right up to that, and that's not a restricted area. So just like with anything else, you don't necessarily have to break the bank to get a unique animal encounter experience here at SeaWorld, at least not based on what I've seen thus far. But we can make our way around and go under to like a underwater observation area. So let's go check that out. If we just come around the corner here, see we have the dolphin underwater viewing. So let's go see if anybody's hanging out over here. Also, I think it's worth noting that in my opinion, it seems like this might be a good hot weather park because there are lots of areas like this where you can get out of the sun. It's gonna be warm today, not super hot. And of course, we're gonna have to wait until the summertime to really test this, but I think that this might be a good option for people who wanna spend more time indoors and a little bit less outside. I'll get back to you on that. So right now, it looks like the dolphins are still up in that corner, probably more interested in the potential that they might get a snack But as you can see, we have like this really big viewing area, which is nice. But all right, let's move on. Oh, it looks like there's a little area back here too. Oh, I think that this just leads around, yeah, this just leads around that tank that we were just looking at, probably to that area where that family was hanging out, where all the dolphins are hanging out. So let's make our way this direction. You know, we aren't lost yet. So are we even really exploring? Probably sounds like I know where I'm going, but that's because this is the part of the park that I've done like 6 laps of because I couldn't figure out how to get out of it the first time I was here. I'm not ashamed to say it. Anyway, just across from that underwater viewing, there is a show called Dolphin Adventures. It looks like there's one at 11 and 3 today. Now, one thing that I'm just gonna toss out there, okay, if we don't get to talking a little bit more in depth about this before you get a chance to visit, sometimes the times here listed don't match the app, and sometimes one of them is wrong. So I'm just gonna leave that there. It's kind of one of the confusing things, and dare I say more challenging things about SeaWorld Orlando. The information just isn't there like you want or need it to be, but also if it is there, it's not always accurate. It's one of the things that I hope SeaWorld works on, and hopefully I can give you the tools to prepare for. But anyway, let's look over here. This is the manatee area. Let's see if we can see any manatees. Might be a little hard. Oh, look, here's one. It's a little baby manatee eating some lettuce. Now, unfortunately today, the underwater area is closed. That team member, let me know, but I want to show you where it is. So here we have the above water area. This is where everyone is right now. And if we keep going down this path, that's where we can get to the underwater area, which, like I said, is closed right now. But it's good to know about and another place to get out of the sun. So that's pretty awesome. Now, another thing that I do want to take a second to mention just right now is that all of the exhibits here, they have someone manning them. There's someone there that you can ask questions and they can tell you a little bit more about the animals. So today, as I was looking at the manatees, I don't know if you noticed them, there were a couple that were labeled and I was like, what's up with that? I hadn't noticed that during my previous visits. And they actually told me that those manatees, the ones with the white lettering on them, they're actually going to be released into the wild soon. And so the government issues them a number, then they get labeled, and then they get released into the wild. She said very soon, so that's exciting. And you know, I think that this is a perfect opportunity to just remind people that SeaWorld isn't just an aquarium, they also are a rescue center. In fact, this sign says that they have the world's largest manatee rescue facility, which is something that I feel like often gets overlooked. So I just want to toss that in here, but we got some alligators right behind us. I think there are some babies in there. So let's go get a look at those. I mean, it's Florida, right? We have to. A couple little baby ones right there. Now this is where it goes off the rails because we could have gone kind of that direction or we could take this path. We're taking this path. Let's see where it leads. So here's where we just came from. And of course we do have a sign. These are a great help, kind of, sometimes, but the park is still confusing. This direction is where we're headed. Of course, we have some big coasters out here. We'll be able to take a look at the rides in a way we haven't been able to check out yet. So let's just kind of pop over here for a second. Looks like we have a nice water ride right here. During our previous visits, this wasn't running. I think it was down for maintenance and then it was like 30 degrees outside or something like that. So, you know, there's that. Looks like it could be fun. There are a lot of great attractions here at this park. We have prioritized going on some of them. In fact, this park has one of my favorite coasters. I think it's the most unique coaster anywhere. More on that here in a bit. Oh, here's another entrance to the Dolphin Adventures Theater. So again, we have the times posted, and then you can see it's like a stadium style show. Some of it's in the shade, some of it isn't. Some splash zones right up front. We'll have to check those shows out some other time. But for now, let's keep walking. Music's very loud, so I apologize for that. I will say that this is another one of the areas that gets a little confusing. This is where we came from. We haven't gone down this path yet. I kind of want to, like I kind of want to do the loop, but also we have to go this direction too. So we have a lot of decisions to make, and this is why I say it can get a little confusing, because you can easily skip chunks of the park and not even realize it. We're gonna pop on over this direction, take a look at what's here before we move on, just so that we don't miss anything. Well, it looks like there's a gift shop back here too. I haven't been in that one yet, but I feel like I should save that for when I actually ride the attraction. How do you guys feel about that? It's just kind of the way I do things. Anyway, we're gonna make our way over here, kind of pop through. Oh, I think I can use this touchscreen, by the way, to take advantage of some of my annual pass holder perks. Again, more on that some other time. There are a lot of perks for annual pass holders here, and you can get an annual pass for a really great price. But another thing I do want to mention is that lockers here are not free, even if you can't have any loose items on the ride with you, so you can rent them. They do have a few different options. Of course, you can get a smaller locker over here. I think they have some bigger ones elsewhere. These all look pretty small to me. But there are also little bins at the load area of every attraction that we've been on where you can leave your items. Is it a good idea to leave your stuff there? I don't know that I would leave any valuables there. You know, choose wisely. It also really depends. Some attractions only have one ride vehicle going, and so in that case, you're the only person that's gonna have access to your stuff, but you have to really be paying attention. I say err on the side of caution. Leave valuables at home or get a locker. But all right, there is the first coaster that we've come across today, at least in any real meaningful way. It is a serious coaster. It's a good coaster. It's been here for a while as well. In fact, this was one my mom and I did when we visited the first time. I don't know if it was called the Kraken back then, but that was way back. What year was that? Early 2000s? Okay, so like I said, this is where things get a little confusing. We're looking at Kraken right now, and we have two options. We can go this direction into Antarctica, or we can go this direction towards Manta. I say we do that and then circle back. So just checking in with a sign real quick. As you can see, if we head this direction, that's gonna kind of take us back to where we were earlier, the Dolphin Theater, as well as the Sea Lion and Otter Theater and the Pacific Point Preserve. But I also want to check out Manta real quick. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back this direction, or down this direction, back this direction, and then we'll head back this way toward Antarctica, and I'll show you that area. Very exciting stuff happening right behind us. Let's make our way down the path. Oh, look at Rita's. I've been wanting to get Rita's for like a couple weeks now, and I just haven't. What flavors do they have? Let's check real quick. Ooh, a custard cookie sandwich. Mango, cherry, lemon, cotton candy, and sugar-free dragon fruit. I feel like that's enticing because it's sugar-free, but dragon fruit is never a good flavor. Not in my opinion. It looks more fruity than it actually tastes. So it depends on what their dragon fruit tastes like. Anyway, here is Manta. So this is another one of the many coasters here at SeaWorld. There are so many coasters here at SeaWorld. And you know, every one that I've gone on so far has been so much fun. We haven't been on this one yet though. I'm not gonna do it today, unfortunately, because I don't wanna get a locker and I just have too much stuff to leave behind, but it is on the list. You can see though, we're kind of right where we started. So this is the direction that we just came from. But if we made our way back down this path, we'd be back at the entrance of the park, and then that direction, like right here, is Key West. So, like I said, a little confusing. I know that's like the theme of this video. Not that that was my intention. It certainly wasn't, but we're gonna duck into this area. I have no idea what this is. but I'm gonna cross my fingers that it's some sort of underwater area. We'll figure it out together. Oh, this is so cool. Lots of little fishies over here. Let's see what else we can see. Oh, I wonder if there are any manta rays. Check that out. How cool is this? Oh, wow. This is actually super cool. I really enjoyed that little area back there. But there's more right here as well. It's just an awesome way to kind of get out of the sun. I know I keep mentioning that too. I wonder where this lets us out. I don't see anyone in here. It's a very cool tank. There isn't anyone right now. At least not that I can see. Maybe they're hiding. Let's see. Oh, do we have a little shrimp over there? I love that this is also, I know you really can't tell, but it's really low. It's like right at my knees, so perfect height for kids to be able to kind of look in. Very cool. And then, oh, how cool is this? So that little box right there, right here, that's where we were just standing, and you can kind of see the person standing on top of it. They're feeding the manta rays, or stingrays, I should say. Got manta on the brain, but now we just get a different perspective of it. How cool is that? Oh, this is awesome. We got little sharks in here too, and then there are a couple down here. Oh, look at this one, hanging out. I wonder if we come around this way, can we see it? No, unfortunately not. It's too bad. Looks like there is another window though, so maybe if we keep going, we can get a better look at this guy. I think we're out of luck, because there is another window, but it's behind like a team member only door, so too bad. Maybe during a future visit, they'll be hanging out in a better place for us to get a closer look. But all right, let's make our way to Antarctica. I also think we might want to start thinking about a place to grab a bite to eat, because I'm getting a little hungry, and it's definitely not lunchtime, but what can I say? I like a good snack, you know? I'm not entirely up to speed with what exactly is available where here at SeaWorld, at least not yet. I know that some options are a little bit more exciting than others. They also have your standard theme park stuff, you know? So we can definitely grab a hot dog, chicken tenders, pizza, pretzel, churro, all that stuff. We have tried a few things here at SeaWorld. There they go. Up until this point, so we've grabbed a pizza, not great. We've had a hot dog and chicken tenders. Both were pretty good. That also came with loaded fries, which, I mean, French fries, chili, cheese, what more could a girl ask for, you know what I'm saying? And we did get a churro. The churro was actually pretty good. Not our favorite churro, but one that was better than some other churros we've had. So that's an option. I think I've grabbed a pretzel from here as well. When it comes to food here at SeaWorld, just while it's on my mind, again, not getting too into the nitty-gritty, but the food is expensive and I've had better. You know what I mean? But I also have a lot more options to try. And for whatever it's worth, we haven't tried any of the like fancier options. We haven't done table service. We've done everything that's been like grab and go, like just quick stuff. So we'll see. Maybe I just haven't made the right choices yet. You know, I don't want to base all of my food-related opinions on just what we've tasted so far, you know. It's been hit or miss though, if you want to know my current stance on food. Not sure what we're gonna get today, if anything. Also, there's a Chick-fil-A here, but I've heard that that's also really overpriced. So we'll see, we'll see. When it comes to the cost of things like food and drinks and merchandise, pretty much the cost of anything related to theme parks, it tends to be a bit overpriced. That's just kind of par for the course when it comes to pretty much any tourist type thing, you know? So I think it's always wise to go into a discussion about pricing and all of that, understanding that, you know, like this isn't gonna be your budget-friendly destination. If you want budget-friendly, pack a lunch, leave it in your car, dip out, eat, come back, which is easy to do here, and it is kind of a necessity because they don't allow food in SeaWorld, though I also haven't like pushed the issue. If that's something that they enforce, I don't know. We do our best to follow the rules everywhere we go. Rules say no food, so no food. Anyway, welcome to Antarctica. And just like that, it's cold. Ice is everywhere. Not really freezing, but it is nice and cool. Lots of shade in this land. So we got Penguin Trek here, which is one of my favorite coasters. So much fun. Not super intense, but just a good coaster, you know? We also have a place to grab a bite behind us and a shop, actually 2 shops. But I want to sit down for a second and see what the mobile order situation is, because I just remembered we can mobile order here. So let's see what that's all about. All right, so this is the SeaWorld Orlando app, and I just want to give you a quick look at what this app has to offer. First and foremost, we do have the park schedule, which is so useful. It has everything that you might want to know, and if you click on an experience, you can actually book it right here in the app, which I think is great. But I'm focused on food, so let's go over to dining. Click view all. I think, yes, that's the Expedition Cafe. So let's scroll down to the Expedition Cafe, and okay, it says I can order food right here. So let's click on it and see what they've got. All right, so we can pick a time, 11 a.m. That works for me. That's the soonest time. That must be when they open. So let's see what we're working with. This will also give you an idea of what food costs here at SeaWorld. Brace yourself, because it's a bit frightening. So obviously every location is a little bit different. Here we have an Asian pick 2 combo for $22.99. We have chicken tenders for $20.99. A chicken tender tower that actually looks really good for $22.49. And then we get into pizza, which the pizza we had wasn't really great, but still. Cheese is like $18.50, pepperoni, $19. Got some pasta, chicken parmesan sandwich. Nothing's really sticking out to me right now, though those are the entrees. Let's look at the kids' meals real quick. Looks like we've got 11 bucks, buttered noodles for $10. That's not really a fantastic spread there for the kiddos. And then we have some sides. We've got egg rolls. Oh my goodness. 2 egg rolls served with sauce for $9.50. That is a lot of money. $10 for French fries. Yikes. So I think we're going to skip a snack. Let's keep exploring. I think there's another exhibit / habitat that I definitely want to show you. It's just outside of this Antarctica area. So let's go check it out. Oh, another thing that I think is super cool, and I wanted to tell you about it. So if you go on Penguin Trek, there's a theme to this coaster. There's like a story. And one of the coolest things is that after you get off, it dumps you into a penguin exhibit, which I think is awesome. I don't know how to get into that penguin exhibit if you don't go on the ride. We'll report back. But for now, we're making our way out. We could go that way. We will go that way, but first, we're gonna turn, we're gonna turn this direction, but it's closed. There they go. Well, anyway, I'm gonna take you back here just kind of to Pacific Point Preserve. I've got a little story with this area. And I do have some footage from one of my previous visits, so I'll pop that in here so that you can see what is just behind those construction walls. So back here, just beyond, the coaster has returned. Just beyond the construction walls, like I said, there are sea lions. There's like a sea lion habitat, and you can feed them. Now, my first visit to SeaWorld was years ago. It was during the time of Hurricane Charlie. Actually, we were here when Hurricane Charlie hit Florida. What an adventure. But we came here, and there you can feed the animals at different exhibits around. I don't know how much it is. I want to say it's like $10 for a tray of something. Over here it's fish. So you can get a little tray and you can feed the animals. And my mom, who, you know, back in the day, it wasn't the same as we have today. Camcorders and photos were a different thing. So she wanted to make sure that my sister, who was about yay tall at the time, got a great picture of her, or that my mom got a great picture of my sister feeding the sea lion. So she took the fish and she dangled it, and the sea lion was gonna eat it. It was so close, and a seagull came in, swooped in, and sliced my sister's finger wide open. That was just another one of a long list of injuries that my sister sustained every time we came down here. Like, seriously, we were always in the emergency room with her. Wild. Anyway, so that's the story. We'll revisit this in the future. For now, let's move on. Okay, so we just popped out over here in front of the Sea Lion and Otter Theater, which it looks like we've got a show at 2 and 4 called Flippers Facts and Fun, a sea lion experience. We did see the holiday show, and that was really cute. We also saw the orca show and the dolphin show. Did I mention that to you earlier? The orca show is in like a whole different portion of the park we haven't even gotten to yet. We're doing it. We're making our way over. Like I said, lots of little twists and turns, but if we were to continue straight on this path, kind of bear right a little bit, we'd make our way back to the entrance. We're not gonna do that. We'll end up over there because pipeline is over there, but we're gonna swing this direction and make our way towards the orcas. Sesame Street, Expedition Odyssey. Odyssey Expedition? Expedition Odyssey. Sorry, I'm doing my best over here. And past some other dining options. And there's an experience over here as well. So this is the Lakeside Grill, opens at 11. And then over here, there's like some sort of pearl experience where you can see people dive for pearls at different times throughout the day. We'll revisit this. Like I said, we have so many different things to see at this park. I know I said this is an overview and I feel like we're like really digging in, but there's just so much. Anyway, let's keep making our way this direction toward the shark area. That's where we're gonna find Mako. So again, we got a little fork in the road. If we head this direction, we'll make our way toward Mako, which is, I think it's like the biggest, baddest coaster in the area. But if we go this way, we're gonna end up at the shark encounter. I don't think that I've been this direction yet. So let's go check it out. Actually, that might not be true. I think, is this where you exit Mako? It's one of those things about SeaWorld that I think is super cool, but can also be a little bit confusing. You kind of exit the attraction into these exhibits. But I'm wondering if this is how we get in to the exhibit. We'll just have to, no, I know this isn't where you let out of Mako, now that I think about it. Anyway, like I said, we're going in. Let's see what we can see. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Oh, this is so cool. I love how wide open this space is. There's so much room to just wander through. There was even a sign at the entrance that said "Strollers Welcome," which is always great, you know? I mean, I know it's not the busiest time of day or time of the year, but it's super wide open. plenty of space, which is always nice. We love that. Whether we're talking strollers or other mobility devices. Oh, you know what? I remember doing this. I think we're gonna get on a conveyor belt and be driven through another tunnel of sharks. Very exciting stuff. I can't wait to show you. Should be just beyond this. All right, here we go. So it looks like there's information on the sharks that are in here and the other fish as well. Oh, this is so cool. That's awesome. I love this. I mean, it really is a little bit of everything. Relaxing, you're out of the sun, it's nice and cool in here, and it's fun and informative. Speaking of which, this is how thick that tunnel was. Check that out. It's pretty awesome, right? Just a little bit more information about that as well. All right, let's keep moving. Let's see what else we can see. Oh, while I'm at it, because I mean, we've ended up right here. SeaWorld is cashless, so you can't use your cash here, but you can convert your cash to a card. I've never messed with one of these machines before, but it's pretty straightforward. They've been popping up all over the place. You basically put your money in, you put your cash in, and then you get a card. I want to say that this ends up being a Visa. Oh no, this is a Ready card. We'll have to do more looking into this. Maybe we'll try it one day so that we can get a better sense of how this works. I don't have any cash on me today, so like I said, we'll revisit this. These machines are also available elsewhere at other places that have gone cashless. Legoland is a great example of that. While Disney World is making the move to going cashless in some areas, they haven't implemented that yet. It would be nice if they did though. Now back here we have Mako, which is, like I said, the biggest, baddest coaster in the Orlando area. It's the tallest and fastest, which is what I mean by that. We have done this. It is a ton of fun. Can't really see much that direction, but there's a portion of the track. Can't see the lift hill from here. It is tall. Very, very tall. Just ask Russ. Now, as we make our way to the next section of the park, which is gonna be the Sesame Street section, I have to mention that right here are giant bananas, and I feel like I need one of those giant bananas. I have to win one in order to take one home, but can you imagine taking that home? Topless Jeep, banana, going down I-4? We might have to do that. I also feel like you may not fully grasp how giant those bananas are. They're at least 5 feet tall. I think they're inflatable as well. Again, I'll report back. Also, I don't know what this is. Seal of Fortune? We'll have to check back on that too. At this point, I think it's worth mentioning that I'm already off to a better start than we have been in past visits. And yeah, I say a better start because we're not even close to finished with a lap of this place. But right now we're kind of making our way past Infinity Falls, which is the, if you want to call it like a whitewater raft attraction here. It just opened back up after being closed. I want to say it was for maintenance. Of course, we're not doing it today. Way too many electronics on us. But I heard a lot of people being super disappointed that this was closed, so I'd imagine it's a fun ride. Perfect to cool off too. We do like water rides, so add it to the list. I also want to take a second to mention that there have been shops throughout our journey today. Oh, there's the Mako lift hill right there. 200 feet up in the air. What an adventure. There have been shops throughout today. Most of them are themed to the area or attraction. that is nearby. So for example, in Antarctica, you're gonna find your like beluga plushies and your penguin plushies. And then like by the dolphins, you'll find your dolphin plush and dolphin merch, you know, stuff like that. I really like how it's organized. It really makes you want to shop at each store separately. You know, it's not like, oh, well, you've been in one store, you've been in all of them. Looks like we can get some Starbucks over here as well. What else do they have? How much is a muffin gonna cost us? Well, a standard donut is gonna cost us $8, so I think we're gonna pass on that. Also, for the record, I have food in the car, so I'm probably just gonna have a sandwich before I take off. But let's take a look at this park map, which just materialized in front of us. This will kind of give you a good idea of like how the paths in the park can take you all different directions, you know? Now we're right by the orca encounter, which is the orca stadium right here, and we're headed to Sesame Street land. And then of course, we still have to make our way all the way around before we end up back at the park entrance. We have two options for that. We can take a walking bridge, which I'll show you, but we're not gonna take that. And then of course we can walk past the rest of the attractions. So let's get to it. Also, this is the place where we got the pizza that was not great. Maybe one of these days we'll try it again, but it was just too much money for what you were getting. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, hold on a second, Kat, I'm hearing what you're saying about the price of these food items, and I am not liking what I see. I hear you, you're not alone. But one thing that I think is worth mentioning is that SeaWorld does have a dining plan. So we're not gonna get into the nitty-gritty of that today either. And I haven't done SeaWorld's dining plan before, though I have done similar dining programs in the past. So I have an idea of how it works. We will test this one out though, see if it's worth it. I think it's gonna be the best bang for your buck, but we'll see. I know I probably sound a little bit like a broken record, you know, because I keep saying like, we'll revisit this, but I don't want to dig into absolutely everything today. And I don't have the experience with absolutely everything yet. We've got time. We'll be back. How you doing, Cookie Monster? And of course, I'll take you along, but I definitely want to give certain aspects of a SeaWorld day more attention than we might just in passing, you know? But anyway, we've made it to Sesame Street. Such a cute part of the park. And in my opinion, this part of the park, you know, this whole Sesame Street land is just one of the many reasons that I think SeaWorld is a great choice for families who have little ones traveling with them. There's so much to do here that caters to little ones. Obviously, Sesame Street is a classic, so high marks for having something like this here at this park. And you know, this area of the park is more than just a themed land with some attractions, and there are a few. There's an adorable carousel, and then there's a train ride, a cookie drop, a small coaster, so there's a lot to offer, but there's also story time with Big Bird happening so many times throughout the day. Looks like we have 12:30, 1:30, 11:30, and then 3, 4, and 5. So you can come over here, hang out with Big Bird, and listen to a story. We'll check this out one of these days. But for now, let's keep wandering through. Oh, there's a splash pad as well. Well, we have to knock, right? Can you hear that? There's definitely someone in there. All right, let's keep wandering around. Oh!
Oh, hi! Oh, Elmo's just having a snack with his mommy baby.
Looks like Elmo's having a snack. I don't know though. I mean, sure, it's healthy and whatever, but celery? I could definitely do without celery. This area of the park is so cute. And during the holidays, which are behind us now, they even have a parade, which I think is awesome. We didn't see it this year, but we definitely want to check it out. But for now, it's time to make our way out Looks like we have a nice area to sit down. During the Christmas event, which, like I said, is behind us, they had some booths out here. So I think you can still see them right there. And then you could eat your festival food on this lawn, nice and covered, which is great. We love that. I want to say that SeaWorld does other food festivals throughout the year, not just the holiday, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. Their Christmas thing though was fantastic. As we get closer to that time frame where it's time to start planning for the holidays, we'll talk more about it. For now, let's keep going. Got Expedition Odyssey over here, which is kind of like Soarin' on a slightly smaller scale. And it looks like we've got a burger place over here. I think we saw this place when we were looking at the mobile order thing. I don't know. I say we pass by today. I don't even know that I'm gonna get a snack. I was thinking about it, but I'm kind of past it right now. But right behind us we do have Icebreaker, which is another coaster, and then out this direction we have another like stadium. Oh look, Icebreaker is going to go back this way before it makes its way back down, hopefully picking up enough speed to make it over that hill. If not, it'll come back. Oh, there it goes. So again, stadium seating over there as well for some of the shows that they do. They have various offerings. We're not gonna walk that way. It may be blocked off because of all the work that they're doing, because you do walk right behind the stadium, but that's a perfect opportunity for me to take you this way. We're gonna walk along this bridge that's gonna take us over this waterway and to the other side, which is where we're gonna find Pipeline. You know, this bridge actually kind of gives us a really great vantage point. So let's take a second and just get a look of everything that's around us, because we can kind of see a bulk of the park from here. So if we start from right here, we can see Manta. We can kind of just see the top of Journey to Atlantis. We've got this sky tower here. We didn't really talk about that, but we did see it the other day when we were at that park. What was it? The park where we did the Longhorn Steakhouse loop. And then we've got Kraken and Mako. Then if we turn this direction, we get a good look at Icebreaker and that stadium before, just kind of ran into a light there, before we get a look at Pipeline. And yes, you heard me right, I did run into a light, but they're sticking out pretty far. I didn't really see it there. I was trying to be as close to the railing as I could, and I kind of caught my leg on that. Not the best design, but whatever, you know, it's fine. So when we get to the end of this bridge, we can head down this direction, and that'll take us to Pipeline, which is, in my opinion, the coolest coaster around. It's just such a unique experience. I love it. It's completely shifted my ranking of thrill attractions here in the Orlando area. But I also want to take you into this part of the park right here. That's where we're going to focus our energy now, because it is towards the exit, which is where we're headed, but also this is where all of the shopping is. It's like the shopping district, if you will, of SeaWorld. So this section of the park is called the waterfront. There are a lot of different shops here, and there are a few different places to grab drinks and a bite to eat. Let's duck into the shops real quick. Just give you a really brief look at some of the merchandise. Of course, they have some holiday stuff on sale, and you know, a ton of different SeaWorld merch. Doesn't really matter what you're looking for, you're sure to find something that is the perfect souvenir from your SeaWorld trip in one of these shops. I mean, from magnets to cups to things that you can probably find somewhere else, but it's funner because it came from SeaWorld. They've got a lot to offer. But let's actually make our way out of here. And that brings us to right here. Behind us is the Dolphin Nursery. We're looking at Pipeline right now. And there's actually, well, this is out of date, but Over here, there's a calendar of events for 2025, which is useless to us right now, right? I mean, for the most part, because these things do change, but it does give us an idea of what is coming. So it looks like they do have a food festival, a little something going for Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo. We have some spooky things going on. Howel Scream is something I'm really looking forward to. Viva la Musica. I don't know what that is. Obviously some sort of music festival. Summer Spectacular. And then the bands, brews, and barbecue. And then of course the Christmas celebration. So lots going on, at least there was in 2025. I'm sure they'll update that soon. But all right, this is our final stretch as we make our way toward the exit. And we do have more shops. There's like a little coffee shop over here, a sweet shop over here, as well as a SeaWorld store and a SeaWorld rescue shop. This is kind of a nice way to do the entrance exit of the park, in my opinion, because if you missed out on a souvenir somewhere in the park, you can grab it now. But also, if you need something like a hat or some sort of glowing bubble wand, you can pick it up here too and have it for your entire visit, which is nice as well. But all right, we did it. One whole lap of SeaWorld. What a day. Now, did we see absolutely everything? No, of course not. Did we cover absolutely everything? Definitely no. We have so much to talk about when it comes to SeaWorld, from dining plans, like I mentioned, to quick queue, to tickets and annual passes and perks, and the list goes on and on. But I think that this is a fun, introduction to SeaWorld, you know? Like, what exactly does SeaWorld have to offer? Can we have a good time at this park? What might that look like? I mean, I had fun. I hope you did too. But for now, we've made our way back to the car. I'm gonna grab a sandwich out of the cooler that I packed, crack a soda, and make my way home. I hope you enjoyed this wander around with me. And as always, I'd love to hear what you want to know more about when it comes to SeaWorld Orlando. So tell me in a comment down below, and we'll make sure that we add that to our list of things to talk about next time we're out here. But anyway, that sandwich is calling my name, so I'll see you guys soon. Bye.